list for same type of value. It can be key or pair value, or it can be a simple element value. So starting it from the list. So you can see their list is a mutable and can be edited. Basically, we have a list name and it contains all the string values. And the string is denotes the type of the list item. So basically, how to add items in list? So to simply add, we can use names dot add, and in the parentheses we can give the element which we want to add, and basically this will add at the end of this list, extending the list length by 1. Here list is unmutable and can't be removed. Here we have used list string, new names, and we have used constant here. So basically it is constant and its length can't be increased. As you can see here, we have used try and catch. Basically, try and catch is a error. Why we will call this? It will show us an error. So there is a very big or very ugly line which you can see here on the console. But in case if we use try and catch, basically this is first we will write the keyword try, and after that the curly braces, and here what we want to try or what code we want to execute, and what if it's catch error. So in that case, print error occurred and the error message.
Can I interrupt?
Okay.
Yes, I have one question, sir. We have used the word const, right? What if I try to define the word const with final? Is there any difference between const and final?
Yes, we will discuss the difference between the final and const. For
Okay.
now, we are just seeing the const. Basically, const is a const. This denotes the constant. Basically, it will be constant. You can simply understand that using the const, the length of the list will be constant and more things can't be added inside the list. Suppose we have a list name 2 and we want the previous list of new names to be inside our list, or to add this list inside our new list. So we can do this easily by using the spread operators. Basically, three dots here are called spread operators. Basically, we use three dots before the name of the list. It will basically it will remove the square brackets, and this will gives all the element as same. So it will just provide these. So this will make a new list. Let's run this program and check how try and catch works, and is there any error. first we will move to the collections, and after that you can see here in the first list we have three names, and after it we have added one name more. So at the end Sony is added in the list. But here, as it was constant and we have tried to add something, at that time it's printed the error of it, and basically the error is unsupported operation. Can't add to a modifiable list. Basically, while using constant, this list become unmodifiable, and we can't add anything to an unmodifiable list. After it, we have a simple list here, and we have added this list with this list. So you can see a name printed very easily, and we have also the given parameters. So this is the idea about the list, and basically you was already knowing about this, but I have to cover so that if there is any doubt for anyone, so
Yes, I
he or
have
she
the.
will clear this. Ask.
Yes, we already defined the word constant, right? In the next list method, we are able to add names there.
No,
Oh,
we are not able to add a name. Basically, it's
oh, we are
showing the
defining
error.
name too. Okay.
Basically, while adding this, it's error occurred. This
Yes.
was this line, and after it, what error messages unsupported operation can't add to an unmodifiable list. Okay, hope I think everyone has got an idea about the list. If there is any question about in anyone can ask.
I'm clear
And
now.
also list, basically list has can different values or can have same values. I can also add duplicates value inside list. So next we have sets. Basically list is a ordered collection, and duplicates are allowed in the list, but set is unordered collection of unique item. It is just same like list, but unique and unordered. Basically, you can't add any similar two values inside a set. The element set is a set retrieval collection. Should not be equal. So change or remove the duplicate. We have to remove the duplicate as set does not fix the duplicate value. Duplicates are not allowed in the set. And how to define an empty set? Basically, you can do this. Also, this is used for declaring a map. So, giving the type here is very important. Okay, so just printed the runtime dot type because you can see here. If I use same, I can also, yeah, we have also another example in the below section. We have here set, we have created the set of specific type of int, which is numbers. And here curly braces. After that, in the second line, we have printed the number dot runtime type. What type of this set is, and again in the below, we have done the same, but the type here is var. So by default, it will behave as a map. So let's run this and check for once. So you can see here, first is compact lint has shed. So basically in short form you can say it sets. And the last one is internal linked hash map of dynamic and dynamic. You can explore the methods of the set. Basically set has similar method as list. Also you can convert a list in set, so it will remove all the duplicates value, and after converting in the set you can convert it again to the list, so you will get a list of ordered pair with all unique values. Next we have a map. So map is a collection of key and value pairs where key is always a different parameter. Key can't be same. So we have printed the name and age dot keys and name and age dot values. So first line will print all the key values. So key, we have two keys in our map, name and age, which are Sanoy Raja and Sachin Kumar. So it will print the same. After that, and in this section, it will print all the values, which is 23 and 17. So we have created a map. Map can also be created as shown below. So basically we have given the type, but we are going to create name equal to operator and constructor of map class. What constructor is, we will get in depth in today's tutorial. So don't worry about this. After that we have name and occupation. We are adding the items in list. In this map, add the key of Sanu, add the value of job, add the key of Sachin, add student, add the key of Sony, add self-employed. After we have printed the whole map, and after that we have printed name key Sanoch. So it will give us the value at the given key value key there. Here we have used the for each method. Basically, it has been also shown on the list method. So basically, it takes an anonymous function which has two parameters in case of map, key and value. In case of we are using it on the list, so it will just only give us the element of the list. And in a maps, it will give us the key value pair. So after running this, we can see the keys value and simultaneously its value pairs. Let's run this and check out the half. So here the first we will get the keys of the map. We have values of the map. Created another map. You can see here some job section student, Sony self-employed, and value of Sanoj. So basically this is job. And here using the for each loop we have just printed key and values. This is key, this is value, this is key and this is value, this is key and this is value. So it has just printed all the given key values pairs. After it we have used a dot map. So basically dot map also returns a map with key value here. So here we have a map which is of type string and string, name and occupation too. So basically name and occupation dot map. Basically we are calling the map methods, and there is one key difference between the for each and the map. Basically for each does not return anything, but map function returns the value of similar type which it was for. So we have a anonymous function, like you can see as of here we have same, and the fat arrow function which says return, and map entry. Basically it deals in the map entry. You can't do anything. So it returns the map entry. Basically map entry is a simple map, but you have to denote it with the keyword map entry. And map entry takes key this one and value this one. So we have given the key as key and value as value normal. List created from map. So basically we have an empty list with the name of list created from map. So basically we are going to create a list using the map. So here we have used the for each loop, and basically we are getting the key and value of the name and occupations map. So list created from map dot add, we are using the element here, so it just takes one value of adding. So this is the whole value, key and value by the space, and print name and occupation to create list created from map. You can see here, and we have a list, son of job searching student, so me self-employed, like what we have called here. So hopefully everyone has got the complete idea about the maps. If there is any issue, you can say directly. And things you can't understand, then please share. Okay, so I think everyone is clear. We have a question, a problem statement here. Like we have created the main method and the list demo, which has ID1 name, home, ID2 name, cleaning, ID3 name, null. So basically this is the list of map. You can see here, this is the list. Inside the list we have a map of string and dynamic type, because in the first it is integer, in the second it is a string or it is a null. So it can be of dynamic type, and you can also see here the scrolling here list of dynamic type. So here how to list from a list of map. So how can you create a list from this map? Here we have created a function by the name of list provider, which returns a list of dynamic type. So basically this function takes list of data and string, key and value which is required in the list. So basically we have created the list given from the list of map, which is empty for now, and string value data. So here we have created a for loop. I is equal to 0, I can't be greater than list of data dot length. This one is used here, dot length and plus plus. So we have created a map with a list of I, this list's element at I, and map inside the list dot entries. Basically it will get all the entries dot for each for each we have used E. Basically this is map and this is used. So this is a bit difficult. If you can't able to understand, we will also cover this later. This is for the later topic, so I have just written, but what is the so basically now we have used the E entry dot key is equal to name which is required in the list, and value is equal to A, or it can be null. And after it we have just added the value data. So at the end we have returned list from the given list of maps. So from this we have extracted a list of similar type of same keys and same values. So skip it for now if you don't able to understand. We will also cover this later, and we don't have any question statement, so it is very difficult to understand what we are doing here. So skip for now. After that we have the classes section. So I have already covered it, but I will cover it once again. We have class person. Basically class is a storage type, you can say, is a blueprint for creating other storages. So to denote a class we use class keyword, and after that we use the name of the class. So name of the class always starts with a capitalized letter. As you can see here we have written the capitalized person P in the person. After that we have used the curly braces. And we have static, final and const. So basically final and const have a very little difference. That with the static you have to use const when you are giving the value, and final when you are giving the value. And static keyword means it is the class object. Basically it's not an access by any object. You can directly access using the class name. So class has some variables, as you can see here, and constructor, named and unnamed. Basically this one is unnamed constructor, and this is a named constructor. And class has methods. After it we have void main. So here in the class we have a three variables here of this class, which is name, age and gender. Also we have two more variables here which are already predefined. So basically these are the class variables, and these are different for every object. Basically these are similar for every object. Every person, you can see here also, every person scientific name is always Homo sapien, and we are considering a maximum lifespan of 100 years. Okay. So firstly talking about the constructor. So constructors are used while calling a class. So while creating an object we have to use constructors so that we can create a valid object of that class. Again we have a named constructor. In the named constructor we have used person dot the name of the constructor. Here the constructor name is guest. So basically our guest constructor will take four types of four parameters basically, and this one is taking three parameters. Basically we have also used the this here. Basically this refers to the this dot name refers to the name of this class variable. Basically this dot name is equal to will be assigned in the name variable here, and age is same and gender same. So here we have just simply used the print statement that constructor one. Yeah. After it in the named parameter person dot guest, this dot name here, this dot is this dot gender, and one more thing which I taking here is phone number. So every time we have a guest in our house, we always take his number if he is coming for the first time. So we are taking same here, and we have our method of class which is person details. So basically it's print uh, name and age and gender. Basically it's prints the three statements. So basically it's providing the person detail as a print statement. So now coming to the main method, how to create an object or instance of a class. So we have here created a person class. So this is how we can call a how we can just add a object of our class or create a object of our class. We are using the final keyword. Final basically is unmodifiable, and same with the const. If you use final or const, the variable will not be assigned again. Okay, so it is fixed while the first calling for the first time. You can't assign anything other than this in the final keyword. So here we have called the constructor of this class to create an object. Create an object of this class. So let's take the name, age, and gender. So person one, not person details. So basically here person. You can see here we are using person one dot person details, but in here we are not using person one. We are just using person, which is the name of the class and scientific name, and same with the lifespan. Basically I have already said that these are the class variables, and these are considered as the object variables, as this is the static. Basically we have used static, so we don't need to create a class to call this method. So this is the main, you can see main idea about the static keyword. And you can't use static without const. If we remove the const, final, and after that we run, I think it will give us an error. So first we will change the directory. So first, as you can see here, we have written the class, but the our method has started always from the main method. We don't consider what we have written here. It just finds the void main, and from here it starts the code running. So there is no error. If we are not defining this, basically it is a good practice to use static with the final or the const. As you can see here, we have already predefined it, and later on we can't change any value of these values. So here we have created a constructor with the name Samajraja age and gender male, and starting it shows constructor banja. Basically we have created this constructor here for providing name, age and gender. So it's simply printed the constructor banja print statement. After that we have printed. After that we have used person details method on person. So here you can see that we have simply we have a function which is named as person details and it runs void. So basically here in the parentheses it does not take any value, and in the curly braces here the body is given. What will be executed is given here in the curly braces. So basically here returns the person detail. So hi Sanoj Raja, your age is you are a male. After that we have used the class name as we have used the static keyword. So static is a class variable. So to call the scientific name we have used the class, and if we call person one dot scientific name, it shows an error. The static field scientific name can't be accessed through an instance. Can't be executed. You can't be accessed through instant or object. Basically, this is the object or instance of a class, you can say here. Or try using class person. This is the field. And same with the lifespan. This also has been used. using the static keyword. After we have used the person tool which we have created using the guest constructor. So it takes the name, age, male, gender and mobile number also. So here in the person tool details, it will print the same. Hi, so your age is here and you are a male. And same here, we have instancing a person 3 of object name, person 3 of class person. So we have used here the question mark as we have not assigned it any value. So the first time it will be a null value. So it will be stored very easily if we use question mark. If we remove question mark, I think that it will not show us any error, but it is a very good practice to use question mark in the starting as we are not declaring this. Okay. So we have just created an instance of object but not assigned any value. So here we have used in the second line we have assigned a value which is person 3 is equal to person name, age and gender. And after we have used person 3 dot person details. So here we constructor one gear line has been printed and hi Jordan your age is here you are me. So this is the basic idea about the class. If anyone has any doubt, because this is a very new topic, so someone can have some question. So please clear your doubts now, and it will be very easy for you. But if you don't ask any question, it will become very difficult for you in the future. And we are mainly using the classes. Basically, that is object-oriented programming, and we every time uses classes while creating the Flutter app. So all our module files will have a class name. So class is very important. If you don't understand anything, simply ask me. So I think everyone has got an idea about the class. Also, if you are not comfortable to ask here, you have to do more practice to get the concept to be clear. So don't hesitate to ask or don't hesitate to do the extra efforts to learn the things. Here we are getting the overview of static, final and const. What are the difference between three of them? Static will make the variable class instant. Basically it is the class instance or the class property. And call be and can be called using the class name only. Static variable can be only changed or accessed by class name. So here we have static, but it's not the final. So we can change it later in the code. So basically number of vehicles is the code. After that we have used the final keywords string brand. So basically the final keyword ensures that this can be assigned only and it will be assigned while creating an object or of this class. And again we have used basically you can see that final keyword will be variable final and can be accessed assigned only one time using constructor at runtime. By clicking here, you can make this. So at that time we have used these things. If you can't change it by creating another class of same, so this will show us an error. And here we have also a static const value. Const is used to make variable content and it can be changed at any place. It can't be changed. So basically const can't be changed at any place. To use const we have also to use the static for it because it has to from the class property. Basically you can't use the constant alone here. You have to specify the total value. So const can't be used singly in the class. While using in the class, you have to use total value or changing the constant to be a final value. So here we have a constructor of this class which takes brand, car type, as sunroof or not, or is automatic. Basically, we have given is automatic as boolean and has sunroof as boolean. The brand of car is here. Is a car type which will be provided by the constructor. Again, we have a main method which is cars. We have created an object of class car with the name of car1. Basically, car1 is equal to we have here car constructor, name of the car, type of the car, and brand, car type, has sunroof or not, boolean is automatic. So basically it's automatic but it don't have a sunroof. You can take one open body with heart that will only provide you the whole sunroof. So car1 dot brand is equal to Toyota. So here you can see if I want to change the brand name, shows me brand can't be used as Flutter because it is finite. So brand is called as finite here. So we can't change it again. So we use here car1 dot is automatic and a boolean value here. So it does not show us. It does not show us any error because you can change the non-final value. So this is the basic difference between the final const and static. Also here the outline will reduce an error. Final keyword can't be reassigned. So making the same. Car2 is equal to number number of wheels equal to 6. So basically, this is the class property number of wheels, which is 4. So it is static but not final or not a const. So it can be reassigned. So have assigned the number of wheels equal to 6. So in some vehicles, like truck, we have 6 tires in the truck. After that, we have printed the number of vehicles, number of wheels. After we have also used number of square wheels. So we all know that there should be only one square wheel. So we have just made this value constant. That's it. Can't be changed right during the whole process of the creation of this set. So we can do this hard copy. Outside of the class, final and con will work same. Both can be assigned at only one time. You can't reassign this again and again. So the final name is equal to A, is equal to A, and if we print name and it, the same thing if we change the final and keyword positions, final and const position. Okay, now the car is Mahindra and it is a XUV. You can see here, while creating the constructor, the line will automatically enter here. The brand name of the car, which takes the brand name and car type. And here we have also asked, we have reassigned the value of number of wheels as it was stated, but not the final keyword. So number of wheels is 6, as we have reassigned it to 6. And also the number of vehicles is static. Static. You can see here it is static. So it can be only accessed to the name of the class. Class cash dot number of vehicles, number of fields. Then we have printed the car dot number of square wheels. So basically this one is also the static keyword. So we have to use the class name. Number of square wheels. And we have the same outside it will for the same. Square wheel 1, sum of them 22. So this will not show us any error and both will run similar with each other and we can't reassign any value. Let's suppose we are going to change the name vector. Basically we are going to change the name as changing the name on the other line, it will show this error where your final name can't only be set once. Basically, it can be set once by making name non-final.
I have one question. So, final name equal to Chanod. If we are changing the name to
Can you
the
repeat the same? Actually, I was not able to listen. Just
yes,
repeat once.
yes. So, final name equal to Chanod. You already mentioned that. Then, in the next line of statement, you mention name equal to Chanod. So, both key values same. Why it true in error? Both are same. We are given
No,
the
this
same
is
value.
yes, yes, and again after that.
Yes,
So
till it. Yes,
basically we have a final name, Sanuj. We have assigned the name variable value of Sanuj. But after as it is used final, so we can't reassign it again. So while printing the name again here, it will show us uh, it will ignore what the thing which we are reassigning. We are reassigning the same or different. It will show us an error because you can't reassign the final value.
okay.
Okay. If I use here something else of this, then it will have no, it will have an error, but there is nothing different which is changed. Okay, so this will, as if you want to change the name, you have to make it a non-final field. If I remove the final, it will be, uh, it can be reassigned again.
I understand that.
And same with the const, but there is a difference between the const and final rate. Const is a runtime type. Basically, basically you can, let's suppose that something is final, but it is coming from the API point, or it will be later decided while running the code. There is the simple Sanoj you can see here, but let's suppose this is coming from a server. So at the time of running, it is not defined what the type will it has or what the value it has. So basically the const, I will show you the difference between both. So here const and final keywords. Basically these are typed at, so you can see here final geek one is geek for geeks and printed geek one. and give to assigned and print it here. It will try to reassign the same variable, then it will display as an error. And in the case of constant keyword in Dart behave exactly like the final. The only difference between the final and project, const make the variable constant for compile time only. Using the const object, make the object entire deep state strictly. Figure the compile time and that object will, with this state, will be considered frozen or completely immutable.
एग्जॉट पड़ेगा.
So without using the constant or final, we can also reassign the values. Also, let's see another example of this here on the Stack Overflow. So basically, final means single assignment. A final variable of field must has an initializer. Once assigned a value, a final variable value can't be changed. Final modifies the variable. And constant has same meaning that get more complex and subtle in that. Const modifies values. You can use it when creating collection like const 123, which makes the, as we have already used this same in the list, it will get the constant. Let's suppose here if you have value, you have to compute at the runtime like datetime.9 now. This will be executed while running the code. If I have written this same like here, const birthday is equal to, I have already given a date inside the string. But what if I use final get date of birth from DB? So at the runtime, it is constant. No, this at runtime, this is the constant. It is not the constant at the runtime. The value will get it from the storage, the database, so it can't be changed after initialization. So uh, you can understand this like if I have to call something from the server, so it will be constant while after the calling the server, but constant takes very immediately constant as we use const. So at the runtime while running the code, you have to know what the value is inside the const. But this is not the case with the final. After, if you are not understanding this now, you can skip for now for this. You have to just get idea that both are same but has a very less difference in it. So you can leave this for now, but in the later on, after doing some more practice, you will have a very clear definition and difference between both of them.
I got the concept. Can you please share this URL?
This one,
Yes.
Stack Overflow.
Yes.
Using the Dart, you
Using
can
the
create
Dart,
another thing
you
which
can
is
create another
Flutter.
thing which is
So
Flutter.
this is the one different. You can
So
say
this is the
raw
one different.
material is the
You can
Dart
say
and
raw
the final
material is
product
the
is the
Dart, and
Flutter.
the final product is the
Okay.
Flutter.
Okay.
Okay.
After adding so many
After adding so
raw
many
things, you will get a
raw
Flutter app.
things, you will get a Flutter app.
So you can see this. This is a
So
very
you can see
clear
this. This
definition
is a
for the
very
both.
clear definition for the both.
Final page equal to date time dot
Final
now.
is equal to
Let's
date
suppose
time dot
date
now.
time now.
Let's
Basically,
suppose
this will
date
print
time
the
now. Basically, this will
time
print
which
the
is now.
time
So
which is
this
now.
prints while
So this
running
prints
the code.
while
If I run
running the
now and
code. If I
I will
run
run
now
it
and
for 3 or 4
I will
seconds later,
run
it
it
will
for 3 or 4
change the
seconds later,
time.
it will
So while
change the time.
executing this,
So
this will
while
provide us the
executing
time.
this, this will
So the
provide us the
time is
time.
variable for the
So the
every
time is
time.
variable for the
So we have to
every
use
time.
here final. If
So
you use
we have to
constant
use
with
here
it,
final. If
it
you
will
use constant
shows
with it,
an
it
error.
will shows an
So
error.
basically, this is the idea
So
about the
basically, this
final
is
and
the
const.
idea about the
Const is
final and
strictly
constant.
constant.
Const is strictly
Any
constant.
any value from the
Any
database or server
any value from the
can't be
database or
assigned
server
as constant
can't
because
be
it
assigned as
can
constant
have
because it can have
it is not strictly a constant.
it is not
Constant has
strictly a
to
constant. Constant
get
has
the
to
idea earlier.
get the idea earlier.
पहले ही इसे पता होना चाहिए कि क्या है
पहले
वैल्यू
ही इसे
तभी वो
पता होना
मानता है.
चाहिए कि क्या है वैल्यू
And the
तभी वो
last topic
मानता
for
है.
the today's getter and
And the
setter.
last topic for the today's getter and setters.
So basically in class
So basically
we
in
have a name
class
string and double
we have
percentage
a name string and
and
double percentage
constructor student.
and
We
constructor
have used the
student.
required keyword
We
here.
have used the required
And
keyword
this
here.
is, have you
And
focused on these?
this
These
is
are the
have you focused
curly
on
brackets.
these are the
So
curly
basically
brackets.
these are the named
So basically these are the named
constructor with having
constructor with having
optional name parameters.
optional
Basically
name
we have used the
parameters.
required keyword here.
Basically we have
So
used
it
the
is
required
mandatory,
keyword
but
here.
we have not
So it
used
is
any
mandatory,
required or
but
anything
we
here.
have not used
So
any
it is
required
a
or anything here.
optional
So
parameter.
it
You
is a
can or you
optional
can
parameters. You can or you
skip the
can skip the
percentage here. By default, it has a value
percentage
of
here.
0.
By default, it has a
So we
value
have
of 0.
also
So we have
created
also
a getter. You can say getter
created a getter.
by
You
you
can say
can
getter by
access
you
the
can
class
access the
variables using the getter and
class
setter. You can
variables
set
using
the
the getter and setter. You can set
value
the value
in the class variable and
ఎప్పుడు
using
class
the getter
variable
you
and
can get the value.
using the getter
பயங்கரமாக
you
இருக்குது.
can get the value.
So simply
நல்லா இருக்குது.
So
getter,
simply to
basically
getter
getter we are getting something.
basically
So it
getter we are
has
getting
a
something.
return type
So it
because it
has
is giving
a
us
return
something.
type because it is
So
giving us
here the
something.
return type is
So
double
here the return
and we
type
have
is
used
double
what the type of
and
this
we have
is.
used what the
It is
type of
get.
this is.
So we
It
are
is
getting
get.
the
So
thing.
we
So
are
it is
getting the
getter get
thing. So it is
in the
getter
name of
get
what we are getting.
in the name of
And this
what
does
we are
not take
getting.
any
And this
parenthesis
does not
or
take
any
any
parameter.
parenthesis or any
And after
parameter.
that it returns
And after that
percentage.
it returns
And setter
percentage. And setter
sets the percentage,
sets the
takes the
percentage,
marks
takes
inside the
the
parameter and returns
marks
the
inside the parameter and returns the
percentage equal to
percentage
marks
equal to
divided 500 into 100.
marks divided
This is how
500 into
marks
100.
percentage is
This is how
set.
marks percentage is set.
It always take the
It always take
marks
the marks
and to get the percentage we
and to
can
get
simply
the percentage we can simply
use percentage getter,
use
and the
percentage
getter and
getter,
setter
and
both has
the
same name. You
getter
can
and
see
setter
here we
both
have
has
also used
same
here
name. You can see
percentage
here we have also
and
used here
percent and
percentage,
percent both are
and
same.
percent and percent both are
You can see
same.
here. So
You can see
getter
here.
and setter are used in
So
the
getter
key
and setter are
like
used in the
pairs.
key like pairs.
Getter and setter both has
Getter
same name,
and setter
and it is a
both has
pair of
same name,
getter and
and it is
setter
a
of
pair of
percentage.
getter and
Here
setter
in
of
the void main,
percentage. Here in the void main,
we have created a instance of
we
class
have created a
student.
instance of
Student
class
name is
student.
equal name
Student
we have
name is
assigned
equal
is
name we
Sanuj
have
because
assigned a
name was the
Sanuj because
required
name was the
parameter. So we
required
can't ignore
parameter.
this.
So
So we
we
have to
can't
always
ignore
give the
this.
name, but
So we
percentage
have
is
to
not
always
required.
give the name,
So
but
we can
percentage is
skip
not
it for
required.
now.
So we can
After
skip
that we
it
have
for now. After that we
use
have
student dot
use
percentage
student
percent.
dot
Basically this is
percentage
the
percent. Basically, this is the
setter.
setter.
Basically this is the setter as we are
Basically, this is the setter
providing
as we
it
are
equal to value.
providing it equal to value.
Okay, so
Okay, so
we are giving it 400,
we are
and
giving
after
it
that we
400,
want the
and after that we
getter
want the
percentage.
getter percentage.
So let's run this.
So let's run this.
So basically it will just return the
So
percentage.
basically, it will just return the
So
percentage.
how percentage is
So
calculated?
how
Takes
percentage
the
is
getter
calculated?
setter
Takes
marks
the getter setter
and divide it
marks
by 500
and divide it by
and
500
multiply it by 100,
and
and we
multiply
will
it
got
by
the
100,
percentage.
and we will got the
So
percentage.
if I got
So
400 marks from out
if
of
I got
500,
400 marks from out of
I
500,
got 80 percentage.
I got
So
80
this is the
percentage.
idea about the getter and
So this
setter.
is the
Basically,
idea about the
to
getter and
set the
setter.
value, we
Basically,
have to use the
to set the
class
value, we have to use the
object name
class
dot
object name
getter
dot
dot setter
getter
and give
dot
it the
setter
value
and
which we want to use,
give it the value which
and
we want
after
to
it
use, and
student
after
dot
it
percentage or
student dot
any name of the
percentage or any
getter.
name of the
So this will
getter.
get the value and print
So this will
down
get
here.
the value and print
So I
down
hope
here.
you have got an
So
idea
I hope
about
you
this.
have
If anyone has any
got an
doubt
idea
or any
about this.
question, you
If
can
anyone
ask.
has any doubt or
Or
any question, you can ask.
for
Or
today, we are ending the
for
class
today,
here.
we are
In the next
ending the
topic, we
class
will
here.
cover the
In the next topic, we will cover
left
the left
object-oriented principles,
object-oriented
and also cover the two
principles,
left
and also cover the
questions,
two left
exercise questions, which
questions,
are 9 and
exercise
10.
questions, which are 9 and 10.
Let's check what topic we have left for
Let's check
now.
what topic we have left for now.
We will cover the function
We will cover
thing
the
once again
function
in the next class,
thing once
because I
again in
think
the
there
next
will
class,
have
because
so
I think
many
there will have
difficulties in creating a
so many
function with you
difficulties
guys.
in
And
creating a
after it, I will
function with
cover
you
the
guys. And after it, I will
I have
cover the
already covered the object and
I have
classes,
already
creating a
covered the
class,
object and
adding
classes,
method to a
creating
class,
class,
providing
adding
constructor,
method to a class,
getter and set.
providing
We
constructor,
will
getter and set.
see
We
the
will
inheritance abstract
see
class
the
and some
inheritance
other
abstract class and some
uh,
other
things like
uh,
polymorphism,
things like
encapsulation,
polymorphism,
and other
encapsulation,
uh,
and other
principle of
uh,
object-oriented
principle of
programming.
object-oriented
And
programming.
after the
And
two
after
more classes,
after the two more
we
classes,
will goes on the module 4
we will
all about
goes
Flutter,
on
and
the
we will
module 4 all
started
about
learning
Flutter,
Flutter.
and we will started learning Flutter.
Probably from
Probably from
after
after
three
the
more classes, we
after
will
three more
reach
classes,
here on the
we will
module 4,
reach here on the
because
module 4,
inheritance and
because
abstract and
inheritance and abstract
encapsulation,
and
polymorphism, and other
encapsulation,
thing will take
polymorphism, and other
uh,
thing will take
two or three
our
classes, I think.
uh, 2 or 3
So
classes, I
if you
think.
have any questions, you can ask for
So if you
today's
have any
class,
questions, you
or you
can
can
ask for
uh,
today's class,
leave
or you
the
can
class.